I'm Red. I survived bathroom imprisonment with an imposter, and I learned that true horror isn't murder. It's being trapped in a 3-meter room with someone who is supposed to kill you, bean-shaped astronaut only. The bathroom door locked behind me with a sound that seemed way too final for a toilet break, and that's when I knew I'd made a terrible mistake. I'd come in here to hide because Purple was chasing me with murder in their eyes, which seemed like a good plan until the door became magnetically sealed. The ship's computer announced bathroom quarantine protocol activated, which wasn't a protocol I'd learned in training, probably because it's insane. Purple knocked on the door and said, "Enjoy your toilet prison," which was objectively the worst thing anyone had ever said to me. I tried the emergency release handle, but it just came off in my hand, which meant someone had sabotaged the bathroom, making this premeditated toilet imprisonment. I had my tablet, which meant I could still see the ship's systems, and I watched in real time as Purple killed Orange in cafeteria. Bold as hell. The meeting got called and I couldn't attend because I was locked in a bathroom, which sounded like a lie even though it was completely true. I tried typing in chat, but my tablet said signal blocked in quarantine zone because apparently this bathroom was a Faraday cage for communication. Through the door's small window, I watched Cyan walk past, and I banged on the glass screaming, "It's Purple," but the soundproofing was apparently excellent. Cyan stopped, looked directly at the bathroom, waved at me cheerfully, then walked away, and I realized the window was one-way glass from the outside. I took stock of my resources, one tablet with blocked signal, one broken handle, and a toilet that I was becoming increasingly familiar with. The toilet had a maintenance panel, which I opened hoping for tools, but found only a note saying, "Sorry, budget cuts, maintenance team." I tried to MacGyver my way out using the broken handle and some toilet paper, which created a rope that was both useless and deeply embarrassing. The bathroom mirror suddenly cracked down the middle, and I wasn't sure if that was 7 years bad luck or just my current situation getting worse. Water started dripping from the ceiling, which meant either the life support was failing or someone was taking the world's longest shower above me. That's when I heard breathing that wasn't mine, which was impossible because I was alone in a locked bathroom. Or so I thought. I checked the toilet, the sink, under the non-existent furniture, and finally looked up at the ventilation shaft to see Yellow's eyes staring down at me. Yellow said, "Fancy meeting you here," like we were at a social event and not both trapped in a bathroom for completely different reasons. I asked if they could get out through the vents, and Yellow said technically yes, and I said, "Then why are you still here?" And they said I'm stuck. Yellow had tried to vent into the bathroom to kill me, got stuck halfway, and now we were both prisoners of bathroom architecture. I suggested we work together to escape, and Yellow said, I was literally coming to kill you, and I said, yeah, but now we have shared trauma. Yellow agreed, but said, if we get out, I'm killing you first, and I said that's fair, because bathroom imprisonment creates strange bonds. I climbed on the toilet to reach Yellow's stuck legs, and together we discovered that pulling just made them more stuck, physics working against us. Yellow suggested I push instead of pull, which created a mental image I didn't want. But desperation makes philosophers of us all. We pushed and pulled for 10 minutes until Yellow farted from the effort, and we both pretended it didn't happen, because acknowledging it would make everything worse. While pushing Yellow's feet, I noticed writing on the ceiling that said, "Gary was here day 47 of bathroom imprisonment." I said, "Yellow, there's been others," and Yellow said that's deeply concerning, and we shared a moment of existential dread about bathroom architecture. I found more messages: Steve, day 12, Patricia, help, and one that just said, "The toilet knows," which I chose to ignore for my sanity. The toilet gurgled in response, which was either very bad timing or confirmation of the message, and I decided not to investigate further. Yellow said we need to get out now, with an urgency that suggested they'd also read the toilet message and taken it seriously. I remembered the broken handle and thought maybe I could use it to pry open the vent wider, expanding Yellow's escape route and giving them a new appreciation for me. The vent widened half an inch, which wasn't much, but Yellow said that's all I need, which raised questions about imposter anatomy I didn't want answered. Yellow squeezed through with sounds that shouldn't come from any living thing, and I tried not to think about what imposters are made of. Yellow dropped from the vent onto the bathroom floor, stood up, cracked their neck, and said, "Okay, your turn," which made no sense. I said you were supposed to open the door from outside, and Yellow said, "Oh right," then tried the door and discovered it was sealed from both sides. So now we were both locked in the bathroom, one imposter and one crewmate, sharing 3 square meters and a toilet that may or may not be sentient. Yellow said I could kill you right now, and I said yeah, but then you'd be alone with the toilet, and they immediately understood the strategic value of companionship. We sat in silence for what felt like hours, until Yellow said, "This is the longest I've gone without killing anyone," and I said, "Congratulations on your restraint." I asked Yellow why they became an imposter, and they said it's literally in my DNA, and I realized I was having an existential conversation in a locked bathroom. The tablet suddenly activated, showing a message. "Emergency meeting called. Where is Red and Yellow?" I tried to respond, but signal was still blocked, so Yellow suggested we make noise loud enough to hear through the soundproofing. We banged on the door, the walls, the toilet, creating a rhythm that sounded less like SOS and more like a really aggressive drum solo. Nothing happened for 5 minutes until Cyan's voice came through the door saying, "Is someone making music in there?" I screamed, "We're trapped," and Cyan said, "Sorry, can't hear you." The soundproofing is really good, which was the most frustrating sentence I'd ever heard. Yellow had an idea, grabbed the toilet paper and started feeding it under the door gap, writing "Help us" on each sheet. Cyan picked up the toilet paper, read it, and we heard them say, "Oh my God. Red and Yellow are trapped in the bathroom. This is amazing." I heard Cyan call an emergency meeting to tell everyone about the bathroom situation, which meant my imprisonment was now public knowledge. Through the door, I heard Purple say I locked Red in there to kill them later, which was a confession but also explained the magnetic seal. Green said wait, so Yellow tried to vent kill Red but got stuck, and now they're bathroom buddies, and everyone laughed, and I died inside. Blue started fixing the door override while the entire crew made jokes about bathroom breaks and toilet humor, which I would remember forever. The door finally opened, and Yellow and I stumbled out together, and the crew gave us a standing ovation like we'd returned from war. Purple got ejected for bathroom imprisonment, which was apparently a war crime, and Yellow got voted out for being an imposter, but with sympathy. Before Yellow left, they said same time next week, and I said if I ever see another bathroom, I'm calling NASA, and they laughed all the way to the airlock. Cyan asked what the toilet message meant, and I said we don't talk about the toilet, and everyone agreed, which suggested they knew something I didn't. The ship's computer announced bathroom decontamination complete, as if nothing weird had happened, and I decided not to question it. I checked the bathroom later, and all the messages were gone, the mirror was fixed, and there was a new sign saying, "Maximum occupancy, 1." Green asked why I was checking the bathroom, and I said I'm making sure it's not sentient, and they said, "Oh, you noticed that too." I never used that bathroom again, developed a complex about small spaces, and started carrying a crowbar everywhere just in case. Yellow and I became unlikely friends after that, bonded by bathroom imprisonment, and sometimes they'd message me saying, "Remember the toilet," and I'd have flashbacks. I'm Red. I survived bathroom imprisonment with an imposter, and I learned that true horror isn't murder. It's being trapped in a 3-meter room with someone who is supposed to kill you, bean-shaped astronaut only.